Welcome to the studio. Today we're wasting absolutely no time. I'm making music already for 15 years, so I got some tips to share. As many as I can in the shortest amount of time. So let's get started with the very first one, which I think is one of the most important, and that is that music isn't enough. If you're spending 100% of your time dedicated to music making, that's nice and fine, but then it's probably always going to stay a hobby. You need to spend at least the same amount of time in business stuff, in marketing, social media, connecting with the right people, going out there, spreading the word about your music, making sure you build up a fan base. All of this is really, really important. Also, always very underestimated connections. Knowing the right people, especially in the industry, other musicians, will open up so many more opportunities to you. If you know 5 people, and these 5 people know 5 people, and you ask one of them for a favor, and they know someone else, and that one knows someone else, this can really spread, and this can give you a really high reach. Every single release of mine that I ever put out there was either on my own label or on a label of someone that I actually met in person. So sending out demos, yes, every once in a while, it can work, but usually you need to go out there and get to know the people, because they're investing a lot of time and money into you. If they don't know who you are and how dedicated you are, if it's just a random guy writing an email, your chances are very slim. Something I'm still struggling myself with is asking other people for help. People love to help other people, but they don't usually know if they can help and what they can help with. So let other people know, hey, I'm a musician, I'm doing this and that, I need help with that. Do you know someone? Can you help me in any kind of way? And people are usually friendly and will help you. Speaking of help, since my song Transmission is right now at spot number 12 at the Beatport charts, melodic techno, which I'm really, really proud of. This is like the highest achievement in my entire music career. If you want to help me to push it to the top 10, which would be like just like a dream come true, there's a link down below in the description where you can get the song. It's really inexpensive. It just takes like 30 seconds and it would mean the world to me. Additionally, we're actually doing a giveaway. If you want to know more about it, just check out yesterday's video. Let's continue with the tips. Be as professional as you can with everything. Your CI, corporate identity, your brand is very important. Usually when I get demos, I can just judge by the cover and the look of Spotify, Instagram, how their music will sound like. Make it good. It sells the music. Like a really weird experimental track that sounds kind of shitty with like a really professional cover kind of makes it more intentional, and people will like consider it more art than just someone that does something that doesn't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? Have a distinct style. Have something where people listen to it and know it's you. If you're a singer, it's easy. It's your voice. If you're a producer, it's a little harder, but then just stick to a certain style of music. If you're like me and you love all kinds of music and you want to switch and do other stuff, just start an alias. At the same time, be different in a slight way. Like I usually say, if you want to have success, like follow the usual like trends a little to maybe 20-30%. The rest should be always you. You can also do something entirely different, but then it's a little harder to enter. But once you do, you will gain more success because you're the only one making that stuff and everyone else has to copy you. Those are like 2 approaches. Also, always try to find some peers, people that do similar stuff, connect with them. Again, connecting, and build up with them together something. You could ask someone else that does similar music, hey, let's team up, let's start a label together, release our music, you remix one of my songs, I remix one of your songs. It's a fantastic way to just get more attention for the both of you. All of the big superstars right now, they do nothing else than just collaborations because they have twice the fan base, twice the success. Some songs, even 4 or 5 people team up and just make it go #1. That's the way to go, and it also works with a starting beginning artist. A little side story, my very first song that I ever made, I thought it's a hit. I was so stupid, I was very young, I thought it's a hit for sure. We all have been there. I sent it out to a friend, he just told me honestly that it's just shit. Played one of his songs, compared them, and I then for the first time realized I suck. And this approach to making music, I still kind of believe in that I always suck. I always think my music isn't good enough. This way I'm pushing it further, but please don't become someone that hates everything they do. Make stuff, make it as good as you can, make it a tiny bit better than the last song, and release it. That's the next tip. Get your music out there. I know so many people that have hundreds and hundreds of songs on their hard drive, me included. Every single one you've worked on, except if it's for training and getting better, is basically wasted time. Finish the song. If you have a song at 90% and you like it and just the 10% are missing, do it. It's one more day of work and get it out there. Release it. If you release it, you have a chance to make money with it, turn this into a career, build up everything. If you don't release it, it's wasted and it doesn't even use up its potential. So get it out there, even if it's not 100% good. You can still start with another name fresh. You can delete songs off of Spotify and all other platforms. Get it out there. This is the only way to build up a fan base. I'm probably the wrong one for the next one, but gear doesn't matter. It's all about skill and even more about experience. I don't believe in talent. Everyone can learn how to make music. Everyone can build up like an artist career. It's about dedication and it's about the experience you gain over time. You'll get better, 100%. I don't know anyone that does something for a long time and gets worse or stays at the same spot. It might just take a lot longer than you might anticipate. It took me 5 years to get to the very first release. It took me another 5 years to get to the point where I'm actually making a living of it comfortably. And it took me another 2-3 years to build up this entire studio. It just takes a lot of time. And if anyone wants to know why I have all of this gear, it's just fun. And it's kind of my retirement plan. Everything in here is vintage and goes up in value. And I love playing around with it. If it makes fun while making music, why not? But it's not necessary. If you take everything away, I will still be able to make the same music. Songwriting, music theory matters. I know so many producers that don't have a clue about music. And I myself started without like a good music foundation, never had the money for any kind of lessons. So I just started with like illegally downloading Logic and going from there. So if you can, and right now with YouTube and everything, it's basically for free. You can learn music theory. Within like 2-3 days, you'll understand like the foundations of it. Within half a year, you should be able to play the piano a little, like some chords and easy melodies, at least in one key. And that's then usually almost enough. The more you do, the better, but not doing anything, there's no option. I don't want to hear another demo where everything's just clashing. It just hurts. I don't get it. It's very embarrassing. There is a friend I know, he likes to make everything himself. He's doing the samples himself, the presets himself, which is like, I admire that. And yes, that's something you can do, but it will slow down your working process by a lot. And especially at the beginning, you will be frustrated a lot because if you do everything yourself, everything will be a little off, and everything a little off is like the entire song being really, really off. Use presets, use samples, especially at the beginning. The more advanced you are and the more you're not satisfied with the samples, start making your own. But don't start like, no, it's just wasted time. Get fast to the point where you can make around at least 12 tracks per year, at least. If you do less than that, you will never be able to turn it into a career. You have to have a steady output of songs to build up your fan base and get anywhere and release with labels and get attention. If you're not able to do so, you're still far away. Even if you have one amazing song, it doesn't matter. Because like having like a one-hit wonder, yes, it's nice. Very, very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. The only way to make your career a certain is by constantly working and doing your best. Having this one-hit wonder thing, it's like playing the lottery, and it's nothing you can count on. You can only count on you doing your best steady. Just as an example, I made 16 tracks for this new project within like 3-4 months, and half of them I won't even release. Just picking the best ones, because like the promoting and everything, it costs a little and it's annoying and takes a lot of time away. So I want to make sure to put all of this effort only into the songs that I really believe in. In addition to that, something really, really important, I even made an entire video about it, is rough sketching. That's my approach to music making. I make rough ideas within like half an hour to 2 hours, and then I do 10 of them, wait 1 or 2 days, listen to them with fresh ears, and just pick 2 or 3 of them and actually finish them. This entire mixing process, sound designing process, everything that comes after the first initial idea, is just a huge time sink. And if the initial idea is bad, all of this time is wasted. So rough sketching is the way to go, in my opinion. Also for singing, songwriting, everything. For the ones that are already doing music for longer, I can only suggest to limit yourself. I know so many people that have so many plugins and get lost in getting new plugins, and then studying those plugins, and then not making music, like total gear nerds that know everything about everything, but have never ever finished a song. Don't be like that. Focus on what's important. And as a musician, for your career, the most important, again, finishing songs. Also for the ones out there, and I know a lot of them, that always say, I wish I would have done it earlier, now it's too late. So many people I talk to are like, Spotify playlisting, it's too late. YouTube, it's too late. Doing this kind of style of music, it's too late. It's never ever too late. Just go for it. The longer you wait complaining about it being too late, you'll actually really be too late. Me starting YouTube was like 6 years ago. And at the time I was like, man, it's already too late. There are so many people out there with so many views, subscribers. Now 6 years later, people are asking me if they should start, and they always think about it's too late, but it's not. It's never too late. Just do it. Just go for it. Get as fast as possible to a point where you can self-sustain your living. Like do a side job if you have to. Have as much time possible for music making and music promoting and the entire package. And then try more and more to make the money with the music. You could also do other stuff like mastering, mixing, I don't know, gigs at weddings, all this kind of stuff. Yes, I know it's not fun usually, but it will at least make you money with what you love. And you're already working with like people that are also connected in the same field. Even better is like a side job within the industry. I know so many careers that started with people working for a label as an intern, maybe as an A&R label manager, and then in their free time they made music and had already the connections. That's a really smart approach. On that note, it doesn't have to be like the full artist career. I know everyone is dreaming of it, like being a superstar on stage. Some people actually hate it and just want to produce music for Spotify. Both are options. You just need to know what you want and then just approach it. But always keep in mind that you don't have to be like this front mega huge superstar artist. There are so many jobs in the background where you can do what you really love, or could maybe even find something you love. As I said, mastering, mixing, songwriting. There are a lot of things also on the business side, if you're into that you can do and make a comfortable living. A big one everyone is talking about is building up a fan base. It's like you go out there and do something and then you have fans. No, make good music that people actually can become fans of. Then make sure everyone knows about it by promoting social media, but the label should actually also help you with that. If you self-release, it's a lot harder. I think the better approach is to make the music so good that actually someone else believes in it enough to release it and spend money on it. If you self-release, yes, sometimes it can be a start to a career, but a lot of times it's just wasted time. Really depends on the style of music and how good you are with promotion. So I can't generally say yes or no to self-releasing, but first always try to approach labels. Then once you're more into your career and make the first money and you have the first spare and you're running out of like time to actually do stuff, and I was in this position, I was doing more business stuff than music, which is also not good. Start employing people, start asking for help, start getting interns. The music industry is very sexy, so people really love to work for free, to just get like their foot in the door. Use that to your advantage. Everyone does it. There's no shame about it. Get an intern. If they're doing an amazing job after 2-3 months, definitely pay them. You also even have to, at least by German law. And like these kind of people, for me, they helped me immensely. I had at least like 20, 25 people here. I'd say 5 of them who were really, really good and amazing in certain tasks that I wasn't good at. I learned so much from them. So if you ever get to the point, get people involved. This could be also a manager, a booker, but be careful with them. Don't have these kind of guys at the very beginning of your career. It's usually a scam. If you're not big enough to make enough money, because usually a manager gets like 20, 30%. Imagine a manager has like 4 or 5 artists. Are 20, 30% of your money times 5 enough for someone to live off it? If that's not the case, no manager is interested. If there's still a manager interested, be very careful. Either they really believe in you or they just want to screw with you. The second happened to me, was not nice. If you want to know more about it, go to my very first kind of videos. The entire story is in there. It's kind of funny, but back at the time, definitely wasn't. Have a live show. Have any kind of show or performance. If you're a singer-songwriter, go out there, sing, be on stage, do it as much as you can. Do it even for free if it's worth it, if there are enough people in the crowd and it actually makes fun. Just make sure more and more people know about you and your skill. And this way you can also build up your fan base. If you're a producer, you should try to have like an electronic live show. I'm working on mine. It's actually almost entirely finished. First gigs announced for this year later. And as a DJ, make sure you have like a certain amount of DJ skills. If all of this is frustrating to you, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, maybe music making as a career is not for you. Eventually you'll get to a point where you have to consider it, to just not do it. It depends on how old you are. I started early on, so I could do weird things. And trust me, everyone around me was stop with that shit. There is no future for it. And that's also a tip. Don't listen to other people. Also, don't listen to me telling you that music is maybe not for you. Maybe it is, but maybe you just need more time. It's up to you. You need to decide it. Don't let anyone else guide you in any kind of way. You have to live with the decisions you do in life. If you want to make music, do it. A friend of mine, he wanted to become a big YouTuber. His parents told him, you got 1 year time to do so. You have to pay rent and everything yourself within that 1 year. So he had to get a side job. But this 1 year was enough for him to get to a point where he was actually sure he wants to do it for the rest of his life. Same with me and music. I did it in a sneaky way while studying in university. I never went there, but my parents thought I was there. So I had 2 years time to do whatever I wanted. Eventually they found out. I got into trouble, but I was at the point where I was already making enough per month to sustain living. That's really important. People will judge you by that. The older you get, the more responsibilities. You might have a girlfriend, a wife, kids. It gets harder. That's just the reality. But it's never too late, as I already said. You might just have to give a little more power and dedication. So with that being said, thanks a lot for watching. Again, if you want to help me, if you found this video helpful and you really want to give something back, if you've watched every single one of my videos or just a couple and anything in there was interesting, please help me. I want to be in those top 10. It's so close. It's like spot number 12. Just get a copy on Beatport. It's linked down below in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. See you back again here in the studio as soon as possible.